There are children alive today because what we are doing, and we're here to help.
That I brought up. One of them is like, don't know. We have begun the fight to end abortion. I talked to a shop owner who talks about Planned Parenthood being a good thing. Planned Parenthood actually providing good resources. Friends, it's a wicked organization, and us Christians have to stop compromising on the issue. We can't play a game of neutrality. It is Christ or it is chaos. That message sunk in for us a few months ago, and I hope it does for you as well. As you check out this video, please be prayerful. It does get intense, so be in the Word, be prayerful, and go and serve your King at the gates of hell.
Have you ever talked to young women who use Planned Parenthood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a few friends.
I think they do a lot of good.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, mostly because you've got girls that are 13, 14, 15 years old that are maybe having, like my daughter has, it's some kind of a virus that girls get where they can get uterine cancer or whatever. And so she was able to get the treatment from there for free or on a sliding scale or whatever.
Sure.
And I think they do a lot of good for young women who the parents can't afford medical. And these guys do it for them. So I've heard nothing but good things from women about Planned Parenthood.
Sure. Yeah, and in terms of like the main issue why we're here, I mean, I think they should perform those services. The only reason we're here is because they end pregnancies.
Yeah, but it's only like 2%. I talked to the manager. They do very few.
365 a year from the Oregon website.
From
here.
A day.
Yep, one a day. And so, I mean, do you believe that life starts in the womb?
Oh, I don't give.
Okay. Well, when do you care?
I just don't care.
Do you have I
don't care.
Well, you care about these women that, like you said, the uterine cancer story. That was a beautiful, that's a beautiful thing. We should perform those operations to help people. But it sounds like you care about someone.
Well, adopt one.
See, he approaches me here flippantly, and not with all the facts, not with all the information. He just wants to get a word in and leave. Now, I pick up on this because he comes up to me and says, have you ever talked to anyone? And, I just wanted to say there's another side to the story. He just wanted to get his 2 cents in and leave. He's a shop owner of a salon in the complex where Planned Parenthood is located. And I immediately pick up he wants to leave. Now, that doesn't sit right with me. I immediately have the desire to share the gospel, to ask whether or not he understands that little babies are being slaughtered in that corner next to his shop. And does he even care?
I never heard one negative thing from a woman about Planned Parenthood. Mostly I hear negative from men.
Yeah, my wife was just here, but she would say the same thing. But basically, it comes down to where do you get the value of human life, and who determines what?
Well, were you in the military?
I was not, no.
Yeah, they don't give a about you, man. They'll kill you like that.
Sure.
I had orders for ground 3 times.
Yeah. And so
there's no value to human life. Our society's not based on that.
I mean, like you care. Yeah, you said about the uterine cancer girl.
Yeah, but
you care about the girl's opinions that go in there?
Yeah. Well, no, I was just surprised that I heard positive about it. Because I had people were, my mother-in-law is so anti-abortion, man, because she lost 2 babies with a miscarriage. And she just can't understand why a woman would ever kill a baby.
Yeah.
That could be, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just going to give you a positive feedback from the women that I work with.
Yeah, and I would compare it, and I don't want you to be flippant with this, but the Nazi concentration camps, they may have had some good services, but it doesn't negate what they ended up doing to 6 million Jews. It doesn't negate the evil that was perpetrated there.
Well, what if women told you couldn't have a vasectomy?
Well, we're talking about 2 different categories.
Well, no. But
that's a category error, because we're talking about, it's for the same reason that rape is wrong, is the same reason that abortion is wrong. It is an unjust overtaking of another person's body, and that results in a death.
Well, I'm not into killing babies, okay? I mean, or whatever. And it's a fine point out at which point are they a human being? Is that
Sure.
Whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to give you some positive feedback about this, because I know a lot of people get really upset at Planned Parenthood. And
Yeah.
I was just surprised at the good that they do.
Yeah, and it's kind of like saying Auschwitz served really good soup.
Now he comes at me right here and thinks he has a fact to bring, thinks he has a word to say, when in reality, he is just puffing himself up. He wants to get a word and a jab in, and I pray that the Spirit works on this man's heart and in this man's life. I didn't capture his name, but I am praying for him.
Doesn't actually justify.
Hitler loved dogs.
Yeah, he loved painting. That's amazing, but that doesn't justify what he did. And so the reason we're out here, and simply put, we're not here to be. I hate that I'm here. Just so you know, I hate that I'm here. I don't think this is fun. I don't get a kick out of this.
Right.
I'm getting cussed at, screamed at, talking with people, but the reason I'm here is fundamentally, and like you said, we have different worldviews, a different view of how we see the world. I come from a Christian perspective.
My dad was a Lutheran minister.
Okay, yeah, and so my perspective is simply this: if God created everything, then He gets to determine what's right and wrong. If He is who He said He is, then I don't get a say, and I don't get to be God and determine what right and wrong is. And so He determines where life starts. He determines what's right and wrong. And then ultimately, I'm not trying to be better than anyone that's going in here. What I am saying is that this does unjustly take a human's life, which is murder. That's the definition. And that we just call out and say, please don't. We'll help you. We want you to hear the message of forgiveness that saved all of us. The message of forgiveness that, if your dad, you said, was Lutheran, was it?
Oh, yeah.
But the message is...
Now, this might look aggressive. And in fact, I was pushing back more aggressive than I ever have. And that's purposeful. Now, we have to remember what we're doing here. It's all in love, all in grace, in truth. But sometimes truth demands a firm response. Sometimes a hard word is the most loving thing we can do. And although the impression on the surface may look like maybe I'm being a little unloving, maybe I'm not being as gracious as I ought to be. Friends, we're talking about a man who just came out to defend the slaughter of children, who advocates a non-existent view of human value. Now, I don't believe he believes these things, but this is the fight.
I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in it.
Okay.
It's all stories to scare kids. I don't believe in it.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound like you've read it then.
Yeah, I read the whole Bible, studied the whole thing.
Okay.
It's all fairy tales.
Can I ask you a simple question?
I didn't want to talk to you about that.
Can I talk? Well, this is why we're here.
I'm burning up.
But hey, the message is simple. This is what we're trying to get across to people. Is simply that you know that God exists.
No.
You reject Him. You want to be your own God.
No.
And that the call to you today is to turn from your sin and trust in Jesus again. And come to Him. It's not.
I'm glad you believe in it.
It's axiomatic.
Like it helps you sleep at night, but I don't believe it.
Even dialoguing with me.
Huh?
This is so common. Notice what you're doing. I'm trying to have a conversation, share my perspective, and you're just saying, shut up.
No,
Hear me, but shut up.
I heard it for 50 years, man.
Well, yeah.
Shoved down my throat by my dad. I don't want to hear it anymore. Anyway.
Well, that's the message. Well,
He's not a Christian, and so we do get through the gospel, and he's intense, heart of heart, and pushes back tremendously, saying, I've heard it a million times, I've read the whole entire Bible, I've studied the whole entire thing. Friends, this is what we're told when we're out on at the mill, when we're out on the street, when you're talking with whoever you know, with whoever it is you interact with. This is common, and we have to know what to say. We have to press in.